Hey guys, it's Amy. Welcome back to Too Blessed. I have a very special visitor with me today. This is my husband, Steve. Hi, honey.
Hi.
He's very scared right now. I wanted to have him in this video with me because I wanted to share the story of our proposal. And so I thought it would be fitting that he would be here and help me out a little bit, right? Sure. So, for those of you that don't know, Steve and I actually met online. We met on eHarmony back in 2011. I think it was July. I was trying to remember. Do you remember? I'm thinking it was July.
June.
July or August, somewhere in there. I don't know. We don't remember, apparently. But we met on eHarmony and we started communicating. And then he first came to see me. I lived in Iowa at the time. And he first came to see me at Thanksgiving. And then he came to visit a few times. And then we ended up getting engaged on February 1st of 2012. So it was pretty quick, but we knew, right? So with the day that you see this video is going to be hopefully February 1st. And so I just wanted to kind of quickly tell the little story of how we got engaged because some of the things that happened that day we haven't actually told anyone else. We kind of kept it to ourselves. But it's a little bit funny, so we just wanted to share that. So at the time, like I said, I was living in Iowa. We lived in a small town called Le Mars, which was a little bit north of Sioux City. And so usually when he would come to visit, we would go to Sioux City and we would just kind of find something to do to hang out. We would go to the mall. We actually had a really mild winter that year, and so sometimes we would go to a park and sit in the park and talk or walk around and things like that. So I knew that he was coming that week, and I knew that we were getting engaged because we had talked about it. He actually had asked me like what kind of ring I would like, and I made it hard on him because I told him I wanted him to pick it out. So I made him pick it out himself. And he did a wonderful job. I love my ring. It's so beautiful. I'm going to insert some pictures at the end after we get done talking. I'm going to insert some pictures of the spot where we got engaged, and I'll go ahead and include some pictures of my ring because unfortunately right now I can't wear it because of my kidneys and all the fluid retention and everything. It's too small. So, but it's a beautiful ring. I love it very much. He did a wonderful job picking out my ring. So like I said, it wasn't really a surprise because I knew he was coming. We had talked about it already. We knew that we were going to get engaged, but he didn't tell me like when he was going to do it or anything like that. So, the day that we got engaged, we went out and I think we just kind of drove around town. You were kind of trying to pick out a spot. And so we kind of drove around a couple places, a few different parks and things like that. He wanted to find, someplace pretty, someplace memorable. So we went a few different places and we just really didn't find anything that seemed right. And then finally we ended up down at the riverfront because Sioux City is on the Missouri River. And they've got a riverfront area that's got some parks and there's a museum and a few different things like that. And there's one spot, and I tried looking it up online because I don't know what the name of that spot was, and I couldn't really find anything about it. But if you live in Sioux City or if you've ever been there, there's a spot on the riverfront that kind of looks like it might have been like a replica of some kind of ancient ruins or something like that is the best way I can think to describe it. It was kind of like a little outdoor theater or something like that. It had like seating area and then it had a little stage area. And so we saw that and we decided to get out and kind of go walk around and look around. Now, one important thing to know is that the previous summer in 2011, that whole area had been flooded. The river had gotten really high and everything was underwater. So we went down there and we were kind of walking around. And I remembered that as we were walking up to that spot, there was a sign. Did you remember seeing that sign way off to the side? It was like we were on the little sidewalk and there was this sign way over on the side and it said playground closed. And I didn't really think anything of it because I was like, this isn't a playground. So it didn't seem like it was connected to the area that we were going to. So we didn't really think anything of it. So we walked up there and we were kind of walking around and looking because you could see the river. We were taking some pictures and looking at the view. And the road that runs down by the river, there was a police car driving along that road. And I was kind of teasing. And I said, oh, the police are coming to get us. And we just kept walking around and stuff. And then a minute later, I noticed that police officer was actually walking up there. And I think you were like almost ready to propose, weren't you? You were like getting up your nerve. I could see you put your hand in your pocket. And I was like, he's going to propose. And then that police officer walked up. And he came over and he's like, you guys aren't supposed to be here. This area is closed. We were like, oops, sorry. So we just like hurried and we walked away and got back in the car. And I think when we got in the car, I said something about that. I was like, well, that is going to be a great story to tell. We got chased by the police on the day we were trying to get engaged. So then we were kind of like, well, now what do we do? And I think we started driving around a little more, or did you go right to that other spot? I couldn't remember. We probably drove around a while. Yeah. But anyway, then he thought of, there was a park, and it's the Sergeant Floyd Monument. And if you're familiar with Sioux City, again, you probably know where that is, but it's up on a bluff that overlooks the river, and it's a really beautiful spot. There's like some paths to walk on, and there's a bench up there, and we actually used to go up there. We had been up there a few times, and just we would sit on that bench and we would just look out over the river and over the view, and we'd sit there and talk a lot. So I think in the end that ended up being the perfect spot because we had already been there. We already had some memories there. So we went up there, and I could tell he was really nervous. It was so cute that he was so nervous. I mean, I was nervous too, and it was weird because we had both talked about it. I mean, we knew we were going to get engaged. He knew when he asked, I was going to say yes. And, you know, we both knew all of that, but we were still really nervous. And so we got up there and we were kind of standing, just looking out over the view. And again, when I put in the pictures, I've got a picture that's like the actual spot that we got engaged. So you'll see that. And I know he said that he was really nervous about like not knowing what to say, but in all honesty, I can't even remember what he said anyway. It was all just kind of like a blur. I know he asked, and I know I said yes, but other than that, I don't remember exactly what you said anyway, so I guess it didn't really matter. So that was, like I said, that was on February 1st, and it was a Wednesday. I remember that. So like I said, that is how we got engaged. And you don't regret it, right?
Nope.
Nope. Good. I was going to try to get you to talk more. Is there anything you want to add? No?
No.
Okay. I guess that's it. So like I said, I will have a few pictures here at the end just to show you the spot where we got engaged and show you what my ring looks like. So I think that's everything. I love you.
Love you.
Yay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.